Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. We are here now in Modok Crevice, Modok Crevice, having completed both of the side quests. One over here at the waterworks, is it the waterworks? It's the floodplains of Menkellen, so I forget what the waterworks are called. Might be the waterworks of Menkellen. And the Gadaran Moon Fortress. Having finished both of those side quests, this is where we end up. Modok Crevice, a smuggler's camp hidden behind the waterworks of Menkellen. Okay, it is the waterworks of Menkellen. The crevice for those who don't want to be found, those who aren't looking, and those who just want to be left alone. Residents keep themselves and strongly suggest you do the same. So you can kind of see, there's where we came from back there, through the waterworks. Let's have a little bit of a look-see of this outpost here. It's weird. Alright, I have this weird complaint with Nightfall. There's a lot of areas and a lot of outposts that they try to sell to you are towns or villages. But they don't put any of the things that make towns or villages in here. Like, there's no buildings or anything like that. Like, they have village models. There's villages all throughout the explorable area. Okay, this is a little bit better. This is actually really cool. I like this. This is a really cool view. Those bridges down there, those ships, those houses. Along this river here, which I don't think we know much about. Oh, Barbarous Shore. That's where that very similar looking place was all the way down here. So this is not the River Elon. This is the River Elon over here. I guess maybe this could be a shoot off of the River Elon. That's pretty cool. Okay, but it is time now for us to go on in. So let's find the dude to start the mission real quick. I think it's Unlucky Simon. Who, if you remember, is the dude we got the map with Margaret from a couple episodes ago. What a lucky coincidence we've run into each other again. I see somebody told you about the smugglers' route to Vabbi. I'm sure that old man Dunkuro would be interested in this passage as well. Oh. This is something interesting to note. It's not really something we're running into, but you require a specific hero for a lot of these missions. And a lot of time, if you read the dialogue, the game will essentially suggest to you which hero it is that you're forced into bringing. So this one's Dunkora. Let's make haste to Vabbi. When you and Dunkora are ready to head out, I'll clear the way. Well, let's go on in. Modok Crevice. Travel through the Baduk caverns to escape to the Abbey. So here's a Captain Boseda. We should waste no more time. These caverns are treacherous. Hi, friends. You must be Spear of Gaggle. I recognize Dunkoro's description as well. We didn't expect you to come this way. We have a friend in common who asked us to escort you through these caverns to Vabbi. Really? Who? Why do I think you're lying to us? Is that you failed to name our so-called friend, or perhaps just the way you clutch your blade? Either way, I don't trust this one. This is easy. The start of this mission's long. It matters to me little whether you trust me or not. I've already been paid, but if you want to get through these caverns alive, you'll need a guide, someone who knows the route that leads the way to safety instead of the dozens that lead to death. It is your choice. I cannot name my benefactor, only that he is very interested in seeing you reach Vabbi, alive. I want to keep him happy, and I don't. If you want to live through his trip, so what do you say? Can we trust one another? So, I'm not going to do it, but this brings me to talk about the bonus for this mission. So the bonus for this mission is basically listening to Dunkoro's different suggestions. Dunkoro's going to give a whole bunch of different suggestions throughout this mission. And the more you listen to, the more the bonus you get. Dunkoro is right. I don't trust you. And then they turn hostile. You're too smart for your own good. I guess we'll have to do this here. Kill them. Yeah, at this point, we're much stronger than the Corsairs, so. Oh, another interesting thing I want to point out is we got this lion from Margaret a couple episodes ago. I actually want to see how long it takes to get to level 20, because I totally remember it taking forever to level pets. So they weren't necessarily wrong when they said this place is a little bit of a maze. This place is a little bit of a maze. There's not as many wrong routes as the lore of the game would necessarily suggest, but there still are quite a few wrong ways you can go and end up having to backtrack. So I like to look at this passage. There's no tracks going in or out. It looks like the Corsairs avoid it completely. Perhaps we should learn from them and not travel this way. Ah, so here is the bonus. Follow Dunkoro's remaining suggestions. So Dunkoro's suggestion is that we don't go that way. So, alright, let's go this way then. Although, I think, to be completely honest, I actually think it is easier to go that way. Wait a second, notice how this path here is worn? See those footprints in the mud over there? It looks like patrols come through on a fairly regular basis. Perhaps we should conceal ourselves. I spot a waterfall to the west that should drown out any noise and do nicely. Oh boy. So I was thinking about doing all the bonuses made for this mission just to show it off, but we already failed one, so screw it. Make sure that we're shouting and keeping everybody alive, since we're going to be going through a lot of bodies right now. Uh-oh. Yep, we just wiped. Okay. Lesson learned, don't care about what Dunkoro says. I just aggroed like 7 groups there, and I forgot I don't have my normal heroes. I just have a whole bunch of crappy heroes from frickin' faction or from Nightfall. Whereas normally I could just get to do whatever I want. I find the lack of mesmers disturbing. So yeah, if you're following along for some reason, I don't know, or if you're playing through again, ignore that suggestion. Go that way Dunkoro doesn't want you to go, because it is 90 times easier than going any of the other ways. So, Dunkoro is actually wrong there. It's actually kind of interesting, because the rest of his suggestions are good suggestions of stuff you should do, but that one's the one that's kind of bad. Anyway, let's wait for this dialogue to be over so we may continue. It's quite interesting, actually, that they keep the Corsairs a relatively low level. They don't bump them up. Corsairs have been level 15 ever since we got to, or like 15, 16, that range, ever since we got to Corna. So quite interesting that they don't raise them up at all to kind of match the enemies around here. Like the Mandragores are level 22. I'm worried a little bit about Margaret's pet, because she needs her pet to use her abilities. Alright, so we will not be following Dunkoro's suggestion. I will be going this way, because I go this way literally every time I do this mission. She doesn't seem to be using her abilities correctly. That's the problem with these ranger heroes. They kind of blow. Even when you give them okay builds, the programming is not super great on them. They're not as bad as some of the other people. Like, historically, assassin heroes used to be really bad because they used to not even use their skills in the right order. Like, they would just never use... So if you've never played an assassin, just very briefly, how they work is assassins essentially have 3 different kinds of attack. There's lead, offhand, dual attack. And essentially you have to use those in that order. So you start with a lead, then offhand, then dual. And generally the attacks get more powerful as you go further down the chain. You can use the attacks at any time, but it actually, like, they don't do damage or anything if you don't have the correct attack. But in the past... We've got to get past that camp, but look, you see those 2 Corsair runners? Their job is to desert the camps of any trouble. If they get away from us, they'll surely find reinforcements. And I did not bring snares. But here's the thing, we can be long gone before then. But anyway, assassin heroes used to not use the skills in the right order. They would never actually use offhand attacks, and they used to be terrible because of that. But they fixed that relatively recently. It seems like this does alright with the pet attacks, just not as good as I would like. I would like her to be using the pet thing, like, more or less off cooldown, which doesn't seem to be. But whatever. She's also not really using the energy management skill correctly, but eh. Alright. I just realized they made it seem like the Corsairs would chase you if you failed to stop those people from running away, but they actually don't. As long as you're not standing in that middle, you're fine. Alright, here's a cutscene.
Which way? This is a maze of twisty passages.
That way. I feel a fresh breeze. If you insist on going forward, that is.
What's wrong?
We should be organizing a rebellion in Corna. Instead, we're running.
We're not running. We're going to Vabbi for help.
We're running. And this would be the perfect place for an ambush.
You are correct there, Sunspear.
I don't think we're running again.
What's that?
You are the last of your breed, traitors. I will bathe in the blood of you and your comrades.
Jeez.
You don't have enough troops to beat us, General. Let us pass.
He does not fight alone. I will feed on your bodies and feast on your souls.
Oh. We got us a boss fight, boys. So, one final confrontation before we get out of here. There's the Hunger, there's General Bale. Interesting, General Bale is a monk. I kind of figured he'd be a warrior, but anyway. You see all those bowmen up there? Well, there's actually a trick to this fight, and it's called put your heroes all underneath this bridge so the rangers are obstructed. And they can't do damage to you. Now you can just aggro Bale and frickin'... The only people you really have to worry about getting healed are your other guys. So I'm gonna make sure Bale has deep wound on him the whole time. Alright, he's dead. Now we can go for the Hunger. But yeah, none of the rangers can hit any of them, so we've essentially prevented 90% of the damage we would take in this fight. So it's spamming this skill here, Hunger's Bite, which is slowly healing it, but thankfully we do just enough damage to keep hitting it down. Also, it seems to be targeting the lion, so easy there as well. You gotta keep going until it's low. Fight not hard, but just a big health bar with a lot of self-healing. Later, outside the Bodok Caverns.
Good work, everyone.
It was probably an easier way.
I think you're right, Dunkora. The secret passage was hardly a secret. I intend to press on to Vabbi, but anyone who wishes can go back to the sanctuary.
Of course I'm coming along. You'd be lost without me.
You have
Cuss.
led well so far. I will follow.
You drag me this far, then ask if I want to be here? Typical two-leg thinking. Of course I'm with you.
This is my homeland. There's a celebration coming up. We can meet all the princes there.
Dunkora, will you be joining us?
Yes. Of course I will come with you.
With Korna behind us, things should be much easier.
Why do you say that? Why do you press fate? The hell is that thing down there? I know what it is.
Warmashel Varish, I have news of General Bale.
General Bale has been slain, and the hunger as well.
Dun dun
I
dun.
only got the reports just now. How did you know?
Thanks to my Lord Abaddon, I have a certain affinity to things. Call it a blessing.
We have to decide our response.
I have already made that decision. I have informed the princes that we will be pursuing Bale's murderers into their territories with all our available forces.
And they agreed to this.
They don't need to agree. We will be bringing our forces north in any event.
All due respect, Varish. Our military is stretched thin fighting rebel villages, centaurs, and corsairs.
Ah, Morgan, my old friend. Manpower is no longer a problem.
Uh-oh.
I have made other arrangements.
Lissa's blood. What are these creatures?
These creatures are our new allies. Did you not say your forces are badly stretched?
Jeez, look at them.
With our new friends here, we can press on into Vabbi.
The Sun Spares are in Vabbi now. They may rally the princes.
It matters little. These sun spears are only an excuse for us to do what we were going to do anyway. By the time they understand what is truly going on, old friend, it will be too late.
Dun dun dun. Holy heck. 17 more of them just clipped into existence. Pursued by Varesh's forces, the Sunspears flee north to seek allies among the princes of Vabbi. Alright. So we're here. We're finally in Vabbi, which is probably my favorite region of the game, despite some issues perhaps with it that I might speak about whenever we get to that stuff. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. I would like to thank you all for coming out, and I hope you're excited for the next chapter of Nightfall. Have a great day.